Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Those of you on Instagram, thank you for joining us today. Wow. Those of you on YouTube, all right. And those of you on our Mastermind Zoom, we are glad you are here, and your presence makes it all work fine. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship class number 438. And our topic for today is rewrite your story. Wow. Rewrite your story. And that's a topic that really follows on a series we've been doing. Last week, we talked about it's never too late to be great. And this week, we're rewriting our story. So next week, we're going to be flying in the air. So I guess we'll talk about flying lessons next week. But those of you online, thank you so much for being with us. I invite you to visit our website, herbertharris.com. And I am also known as the What's Next strategist. I'm a retired person. I've been retired over 25 years. And one of the things I have found is that there is always another chapter to write in your life. So I recommend that you visit our website, herbertharris.com, or our profile on Instagram, and schedule a What's Next strategy session, and let me help you write the next chapter of your life. Before we get started, let us do our meditation and let us get centered so that we can set aside all the stuff going in the outside world and focus on the here and now, this moment, this time, this communication, this group of incredible people, and feed upon that energy. So let us sit straight up in our seats, close our outer eyes, open our inner eyes. Take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Let that peace sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, my mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. This morning, this topic, rewrite your story, is a profound one because many times, we get to a point in life and we look back and we think, wow, if I'd made some different decisions, I'd be in a different place. If I'd started sooner, I could have accomplished so much more. If I only had another chance, one more round could have made all the difference. And, some people actually think that the final chapter of their life is already written and all they're doing is waiting for the undertaker. But I'm here to tell you that it ain't over. It ain't over till it's over. And you'll be the first to know. There's always greatness left inside you. And as long as you're breathing, you see, breath in the Indian philosophy, breath means prana. So as long as you're breathing, you have energy. And as long as you have energy, you have possibilities, because everything is created from energy. There's some quotes I'd like to share with you, I think, that really captivate the moment. The Victorian writer George Eliot, she said, "It's never too late to be what you might have been. It's never too late to be what you might have been." So no matter what has happened in the past, no matter how many failures, no matter how many disappointments, no matter how many marriages, no matter how many negative things that have happened to you, if you're alive, you're still in the game, and you have unlimited possibilities before you. Dolly Parton wrote something. I love it. It's so simple, but it's so profound. She says, if you don't like the road you're walking on, start paving another one. If you don't like the road you're walking on, start paving another one. And that's really what the message is about today. That as long as you're alive, your story is still being written. The greatest chapter may still be ahead of you. It's not that circumstances become more perfect. It's not that stuff becomes easier, but it's the fact that you make a new decision, a new thought, a new decision to change, to go forward. Wow, that's some powerful stuff, folks. Because the moment you choose to look at your life differently, to see it from a different perspective, to see it from a different level of consciousness, everything changes. The Creator is always creating new possibilities. In the book of Isaiah, the 43rd chapter and the 19th verse, it says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Behold, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" And so every sunrise is just another opportunity. I love being on the beach in the morning. I used to live on the beach. I had one of those, what do you call it, timeshares. And I loved getting up on my balcony and looking out and seeing the sun come up early in the morning. Even better, I like to be down on the beach because not only can you see the sun coming up, but you can hear the waves crashing against the shore. You can feel the wind on your face. You can smell the smells of the early morning sea. And so the feeling you get right there is every breath. If you're alive, you still have possibilities. Every breath you take is an invitation to do more, to be more, to have more, to experience more, to help more, to impact more. But why don't we do it? Why don't we see that day as what it is and not see it as what it was? And so that's our lesson today. You have the ability to rewrite your story from what it was to exactly what you want it to be. The interesting thing about life is you can rewrite your story more times over and over. As I was preparing this talk, I was looking back, I was saying, man, how many times have I rewritten my story? I know I have retired 4 times. Okay. And so how many times have I rewritten my story? And I just looked at a few of them, and I was thinking back, and I guess the first rewrite was when I was 16 years old, and I had gotten a scholarship to attend Columbia University in New York, coming from another paradigm, coming from a paradigm of segregation. We're talking 1960. Coming out of a segregated school system, never having gone to school with anybody who didn't look like me. All of my teachers were Black. All the businesses were Black. All the neighborhoods were Black. And coming into Columbia University, where out of 725 students, there are only 4 of color. So that was a whole new rewrite on my life, on who I was. That was my first rewrite. And I challenge you, you look back over your life and you'll find that you've been rewriting your story many times, and often it's at those points where you have drastic changes in your life, we often rewrite subconsciously our desire to survive and to thrive and to be okay. Sometimes subconsciously helps us rewrite our story. So I want to share 4 keys, 4 principles that can help you in this rewrite process. The first principle, stop reading old chapters. Can you imagine reading the same chapter in a book every day? There was a job, a fellow had been working for this company for many, many years, and he said he'd been there 25 years, and over that 25 years, people kept getting promoted above him. And so finally he went into his boss and he said, look, I've been here 25 years. I have 25 years experience, and yet you keep bringing in people and promoting them above me. And the boss said, no, John, you have 1 year experience 25 times. So John got that one level of consciousness, but he never grew beyond it. So can you imagine reading the same old chapter, every disappointment, and you get stuck on it? I have friends who get stuck in every different marriage. I've seen people be still dwelling on a marriage that ended 20 years ago. The other spouses maybe been married 3 or 4 times since then, and they're still stuck. The same old chapter, every failure. You know, one of the things about, you might say, very public failures is it really makes you want to hide sometimes. I remember when the first time I took the bar, I didn't pass, and oh my God, it seemed like everybody in the world knew. I felt like everywhere I went, everybody was going, that's the guy who didn't pass the bar. And I could have stayed stuck there. Some people never get beyond that. Some people live exactly like they're stuck in the Matrix. You know the movie, The Matrix? I love that. And it's so indicative of life. We live in a matrix. We live in a series of matrices. And a matrix is like a program. It's a system of your thinking. It's a system of your emotions. It's a system of your habits. It's a system of your relationships that you permit to define you. So you can define yourself as a negative thinker and always see the glass as half empty. You can define yourself as a negative feeler, always feeling fear, always feeling jealousy, responding to the world in that mindset. You can define yourself as a person who's disorganized, who's always late. I have friends that say they're always late. I say, you know, you have to work at it to be late all the time. I mean, if you just follow your natural processes, you're going to get somewhere on time, but they're never there on time. And man, there's some people that you keep meeting people who abuse you, who steal from you, who cheat on you. Same person, different hat. And so if you're going to rewrite your story, you're going to have to stop reading the old chapters. You're going to close out the chapter called divorce. You're free to be. Close out the chapter called bankruptcy. Oh my goodness. Hey, it was a learning experience. Close out the chapter called addiction. You know, there are people who get stuck. You know, one of the things about recovery sometimes is when people recover, you can become addicted to recovery. Close out the chapter on failure. Ooh, let me tell you, we fail our way to success. Close out the chapter on rejection. Close out the chapter on I'm not good enough. And then close out that chapter on I should have, I could have. These chapters are a part of your life, but these chapters don't define you. And that's a powerful mindset. In other words, the chapters in the past are part of your life, so you can acknowledge them, but they are not your entire life. As long as you're breathing, you're writing new chapters. Unless you drag the old chapters with you. There's a great scripture, Philippians, and it says, Forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before, I press toward the mark. And that's Philippians, the 3rd chapter, the 13th through the 14th verses. I'm going to say that because I like to give a spiritual, and I'm not talking biblical, I'm talking spiritual context for what we talk about. Forgetting those things which are behind, all the negativity, all the failures, all the past things that have hurt you, that have held you back, and reaching forth unto those things which are before you, the future, the sunrise, the new stuff, the new perspective. And then it says, I press toward the mark. That once you see the vision of your promised land, you got to do something. Just as remember the prodigal son, when he was in the pig pen of life, he said, when he came to himself, when he realized that the pig pen, the things that he was experiencing right then did not define him. But then he said, I will arise. He did something. I will arise and go to my source, my Father. I will go to the greatness in which I was created. Each of us, by being born, you're born into greatness. Now, there's some chapters, like many times in early childhood, that can be an interesting chapter. But we are born into greatness, and our life is about finding that greatness. So we stop asking, why did this happen? And we start saying, hey, this is preparing me for next. This is what the Creator is getting me ready to receive. The second principle is to rewrite the story you tell yourself. That's a choice. Many of us have lived the life of somebody else's story. I probably shared it with you before, but in one of the low times in my life, I wrote a song. I mean, as a songwriter, you capture who you are at that moment. And the song was called World, Please Help Me. And you can imagine where I was. And I even had a partner. We were a writing partner. And man, everything we wrote didn't sell. Every record we produced didn't sell. I mean, it was like, man, our relationship, you name it, stuff was just going south. And the words of the song went, and it said, world, please help me to find myself, 'cause I woke up this morning to find that I've been living the life of somebody else other than me. Wow. So we had to rewrite that story. Every one of us has an internal script, what we tell ourselves. The third law of success, that fourth law of success, that law of command. Many of us, our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. This book is your guidebook to help you rewrite your story. And the law of command, the fourth law, is what do you tell yourself? The voice you hear inside is defining who you are. You have to wonder who wrote that program. Well, in our early stages, somebody else wrote the program. But at this point in your life, you must choose to write the program under which your life operates. And so you get away from I'm too old. You get away from I missed this and I didn't do that. And you start moving on towards a new program that says I'm smart enough. I'm successful enough. I'm strong enough. I'm persistent enough. As you begin to rewrite your story, think of all the good things that you are. When you begin this process, all the good things that you are, all the good things that you've accomplished, all the good things you would like to be, all the good things you would like to do, all the good things you would like to impact the world with. And act as though you could not fail. Act as though everything is possible, and write out the person you want to be. So your life changes. Instead of saying, I failed, you say, I learned. Instead of saying, I'm too old, say, I'm a veteran now. I got wisdom and experience. Instead of said, I've made too many mistakes, you say, wow, I've gained valuable experience. For sure, I know what not to do. You say, the Creator's not finished with me yet. You see, the life you create follows the story that you write. And you have the power to write your own story. So what thoughts do you want your life to be based on? Empowering thoughts, possibility thoughts, greatness thoughts. What emotions do you want to respond to? Emotions of love, emotions of compassion, emotions of growth and improvement. What habits do you want to incorporate in this new you? Timely habits, organization habits, habits of using your time wisely, habits of avoiding the traps of life. What relationships do you want to cultivate now? You know, many times we can't choose our family, but we can certainly choose our friends. When we do this, we are able to rewrite our story in a way that pleases us. You know, one of our books, the Life Lessons for Your Success, is one of our books on Amazon. This is volume 1. And one of the reasons we wrote it was because in this process of rewriting your story, you'll find that there are things that you have to overcome. So it's a prescription and a prescription on how to handle things. Volume 1, how to handle procrastination. That will keep you from rewriting your story. You'll always be, I'm going to start tomorrow. How to handle self-doubt. That you're wondering now, do you have a story to tell? Help you overcome self-doubt. And lack of focus. The moment you start to rewrite your story, it seems like all these other things, distractions, people, all these other things come into play to pull you away from the promised land. So that second key, to rewrite your story. Tell yourself what you want to know about you and how you want to be. The third principle is to make new decisions. The moment you have new thoughts, new emotions, new habits, and new relationships, you must take new actions. You must do new things. And a decision is a choice that you act on. And the decisions you make determine the life you live. Nothing changes until a new decision is made. A better future becomes from a better decision. When you make better decisions, your life changes. The difference between people who say they want to transform themselves and those who actually transform their lives is one courageous decision. That one decision that say, from this point on, I am number one with me. That's not ego. That's preservation. From this moment on, I'll be on time. From this moment on, I'll cast out all negative. I'll just think positive thoughts. From this moment on, I'll work from faith and not fear. Noah decided to build the ark. One decision changed the world. Peter decided to step out the boat and walk on water. One decision that showed unlimited possibilities for everyone. Someone once said, every miracle begins with a decision. The Course on Miracles, one of the basic premises of the Course is that miracles happen all the time. We just have to be aware and we have to pay attention to see them happening. So what are some decisions you can make today? Maybe a decision, I will forgive myself for whatever the past was about. I will forgive others, for they knew not what they do. I'll start that business. I'm tired of working for somebody else. I'm tired of trading dollars, time for dollars. I want to leverage my time, my skill, my wisdom. I'll write that book. I take my hat off one of you. You know, this Success Mentorship group, we have more writers in this group. I salute all of you who've started out and who are writing your books right now. Because think about last year, you're like, I'm gonna. Someday I'll. But now you're doing it. I'm going to repair that relationship. I guarantee there's some people that can help you in this new you, this transformative you. But you need to clean up some stuff. So I'll go back and repair that relationship. This is a big one coming now, folks. I'll take better care of my health. There's an Arabian proverb and it says, he who has health has hope. He who has hope has everything. That's a big one. I will take care of my health because trust me, if you don't take care of your health, nobody else will. I will discover my purpose. I'll reframe my life. Now as I write this new definition of who I am, I'll look at every failure, every defeat, every disappointment as a life lesson to help me get better. As a life lesson to teach me how strong and resilient I really am. As a life lesson to just show you how high you can fly. One decision can redirect and redefine your entire life. The fourth principle. Once you've written that story, live in the new story every day. Don't rewrite your life in one day. You rewrite your life every day. That once you've laid out that picture of who you are, what you want to be, what you want to become, what you want to do, what you want to represent. I choose me first. Thank you. I will take better care of my health. Oh, on Instagram, they're lighting it up. Beautiful. See, this idea of living your new story one day at a time, you grow into it. When you create the vision, the scripture says, the vision is yet for an appointed time. Once you create the vision, using your imagination now to rewrite that story of who you are, you walk into that vision, you feel that vision, you experience that vision on a daily basis. Tiny actions, consistent actions create extraordinary results. So it may be to read 5 pages a day. It may be to write 1 page a day. It may be to call one more person a day who can transform your life. It may be to pray every morning. It may be to express gratitude. You see, gratitude is the pump of abundance. Whatever you're grateful for, you get more of. Sometimes we focus so much on what we don't have that we're never grateful for what we do have. Well, the moment you practice daily gratitude, you'll find that the things you're grateful for grow each and every day. Pray every day. Encourage someone every day. Learn a new skill every day. Success is not one giant step. It is thousands of small, faithful steps. You know the story. How do you eat an elephant? Bite by bite. How do you build a dream? Step by step, day by day. Jesus said, he that is faithful in little is faithful also in much. That when you handle the little things, the big things get taken care of automatically. Wow. Wow, Tashika said on Instagram, she said, I live in my new story. Woo! Yes. So many people have rewritten their stories. We hear about it. You know, Colonel Sanders rewriting his story to start at 65, and Grandma Moses starts painting in her 70s. Boy, if you ever read the story of Maya Angelou, you know, we know her as the poet laureate. But if you read the story of her life, you'll take your head off. You'll say, oh my God, how did she get through all of that? Some of the things that she experienced, some of the things that she did, but yet she rose. So rewrite the beliefs about yourself, about your thoughts. Rewrite the feelings about your finances. You know, some of us have been taught that money is root of all evil. Rewrite that. Rewrite the feelings about your health, how important it is to watch your weight, to maintain your body, your physical plan. Rewrite your concept on retirement. You know, I'm the what's next coach, and many of my clients are people who retired, and after a year or so of being free, as they say, They're like, what else? There's got to be more to life than this. I've solved the riddle of survival. I get a check every month, but there's more to life than that. I spent a life generating that check. Now I got it. What am I going to do? Change that framework. It's not about winding down. It's about stepping up. Wow. You may be finished with that job, but you're not finished with the purpose for which you were created. You spend 40 years getting ready, and now you are ready, and the time is now. So the next chapter, imagine yourself as your life as a book. And it's very natural to see that the first chapter of your life book was your childhood. You didn't have a lot of control over that because most of your life was controlled by someone else. Well, hopefully you had good parents and a good environment. Grow from it. But if you didn't, if you had some people have had terrible childhoods, traumatic childhoods, but rewrite that story now. That's a past chapter. Let it go. The second chapter might be your education. That second stage of life in which you learn the game of life and how to play it. You've learned the things you need to learn. So that second chapter was powerful. If you didn't learn something in that second chapter, you may have to go back and learn it now as you write this new chapter. Another chapter was your career. You know, many of us spend 20, 30, 40 years in the workplace, learning how to survive and thrive. Another chapter was raising your children. You know, each chapter is complete unto itself. And now we're at that point where the children are grown and gone, and like, what is there left for you now? Many people, once the children are gone, they don't have a clue what they do with themselves. Maybe there was a chapter about loss where stuff just went wrong and hurt. Maybe there was a chapter about illness where you overcame that illness 2 or 3 times. What will you write for your chapter? Let it be a chapter of faith. Let it be a chapter of gratitude. Let it be a chapter of incredible opportunities. So now that we go through these 4 principles, we stop reading the old chapters. We rewrite the story that we want to hear to help us be the person we want to be. We make those new decisions that are congruent with that story. And then we live in that new story each and every day. So these are steps, 4 steps to help us do that. Number 1, write the old story that you've been telling yourself. Number 2, write that new story based on faith instead of fear. Number 3, make that one decision that moves you toward the new story and take action every day in every way until the story you've written is the reality you live. There are no mistakes. You're not your disappointments. You're not the diagnosis. You're not the age. You're not the failures. You are the created being of an all-knowing, all-powerful creator who has put you here for a purpose, to dream another dream, to live another day, to change another life, to make this world better for your having lived and occupied the space in it. Because when you can do that, then you can rewrite your story exactly the way you want it to be, knowing that you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. The choice is up to you. As long as you're breathing, you have the power. Thank you so much for being with us today, and may you enjoy the process of rewriting your story, knowing that you have the power of the pen And the power of the pen creates the reality in which you will dwell. And all of that is in your power. Thank you so much on Instagram. Share this broadcast with at least 3 other people. And I love some of the beautiful comments you've shared. Wow, the time is now. Live in your new story. Those on YouTube, make some comments. Share how you're going to put this message into action. And those of you on the Success Mastermind Zoom, hang on, hold tight, because I know you have a lot to say, a lot to share about the message today. And so remember this, you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet